Alright guys, so in this video we're going to be starting the third of our conics. So we did parabolas, we did circles, now we're doing what is called an ellipse, or what you would see and look at and say, oh, that's an oval. But mathematically with conics, it's an ellipse. Up here you can see how it is the cross-section of a cone. Here are the two types of ellipses. We're either going to be x-axis as our major axis, or y-axis as our major axis. The major axis is the long one. The major axis has the vertices. The minor axis, which is the short one, has the co-vertices. Your center is still HK. The distance from the center to the focus, which is on the major axis, is C. The distance from the center to the vertex is A. The distance from the center to the co-vertex is B. Okay? Here's the equation, x minus h squared over a squared, so that's major when the major axis is the x-axis, plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. Always equal to 1 when we write those equations. Then you'll see here, this is when the x-axis is the major axis, this is when the y-axis is the major axis. To find c, c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. Alright, so we're going to start with graphs. So it says find the vertices, co-vertices, center, foci, and the length of the major and minor axis. Alright. So, center is the first thing in this instance that I will find because it's the easiest. So the center is right here. The center is 0, 0. Done. Alright. We can find the vertices next. So the vertices are on the long axis. Well, that's going to be the y-axis. So that's here and here. So that's going to be 0, 8, and 0, negative 8. The co-vertices are on the short axis. So that's going to be here and here, so 0, negative 3, and 0, 3. Length of the major and minor axis, so the major axis, pretty easy. From here to here is 8 times 2. Is 16. Minor axis is, so that's what, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 6 because that's 3 times 2. And then the foci. The foci are going to be the more challenging ones, but since we have our A and our B, it won't be too bad. Alright, so we got to find C, the distance from the center to the foci. So that's A, that's B. So C squared is equal to 8 squared minus 3 squared, or 64 minus 9, or in this case, or 55. So then we take the square root, and I'm running out of space, but C is the square root of 55. So that means that my foci are going to be at, so that's going to be along here, so that's going to be 0 square root of 55 and 0, negative square root of 55. Alright, so next one, so center in this case is now negative 7, 1. Vertices, again, the long axis is vertically, so that's going to be negative 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 7, 6, and in this case, negative 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 7, 4. The co-vertices are going to be at, that's going to be here and here, so that's going to be negative 5, 1, and negative 9, 1. So the major axis is going to have a length, and if you wanted to, you could just count it from here to here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minor axis has a length of 1, 2, 3, 4. And then again, we have to use the 5 and the 2. So c squared is equal to 5 squared minus 2 squared. C squared is equal to 25 minus 4. So c squared is equal to 21. So c is the square root of 21. This is where it's a little off, but we can make it work. It's going to look a little weird, I know. So when we're doing this, from here, negative 7, 1, I have to go this direction and this direction from 1. So it's going to be negative 7, and then it's going to be 1 plus the square root of 21, and 1 minus the square root of 21. So my foci are at negative 7, 1 plus square root of 21. And you know what, I'll just say plus or minus square root of 21 because I don't have the space right there. Negative 7, 1 plus or minus the square root of 21. These will be a little bit easier when they ask you for them. They should be whole numbers in a sense like this. The ones I picked just didn't. Sorry for that, guys. Alright, moving on. So now we have some equations that we'll go through. So whenever you see x squared, y squared, that means that the center is 0, 0. Okay. Remember, the vertices is distance of A from the center. So 65 is my A squared. So if A squared equals 65, then A equals the square root of 65, which means my vertices, now keep in mind this is under the y, so that means it's going to be vertically. So that's going to be 0 square root of 65 and 0 negative, negative square root of 65. My co-vertices are going to deal with the 39, so that's going to be the square root of 39, so that's going to be the square root of 39, 0, and negative square root of 39, 0. So major axis, since a is the square root of 65, this is going to be 5 times the square root of 65. And my minor axis is 2 times the square root of 39. My foci, so that's c squared equals 65 minus 39, because that's already a squared and b squared. So c squared is equal to, it'll be 26. So c is the square root of 26, which will not simplify. Make sure you simplify when you can. That'll come up a couple times. So that's going to be 0 square root of 26 and 0 negative square root of 26. Alright, so I'm not going to do this one because I'm running low on time. I have less than 4 minutes, so let's look here. Okay, 81, 49, 104, perfect squares. That's even better. Alright, so my center is 8, 0. Remember, minus means positive. So now my a squared is 81, my b squared is 49. So my vertices, so a along the x-axis is going to be 9. Right? A squared equals 81, so a equals 9. So that's going to be along the x-axis, distance from center. So if I add 9 to 8, I get 17, 0. And if I subtract 9 from 8, I get negative 1, 0. So my co-vertices, now this is going to be a distance of 7 vertically, so from 0. So that's going to be 8, still has this x value. But now I'm going up 7, so 8, 7, and I'm going down 7, so 8, negative 7. My major axis, so a is 9, so 9 times 2 gives me 18. Minor axis is 7 times 2 or 14. And then last but not least, my foci. So c squared equals 81 minus 49. C squared is going to be equal to 32. C equals the square root of 32. So simplify, 2 goes in 16 times. Hey, 4, 4, perfect. Alright, so this is really 4 times the square root of 2. So my foci are on the major axis, so that's going to be 8 plus 4 square root of 32, or square root of 2, 0. Oops. 0. And 8 minus 4 square root of 2, 0. I'm almost out of time, so sorry guys. If you need help with this, come to tutoring, and we can work through some more problems.